what is recess week? Okay, recess week is essentially a week for recess, basically a week for you to stop and take a breath in the middle of the semester. So it's a week. How does a minor work? What does that mean? Well, what a minor does is that you take a few courses. You take some courses from a particular basket, depending on what your minor is. Yeah, and then once you complete all those courses, then you will be certified to have a particular minor in whatever it is your minor, yeah, that you have chosen. Okay, let me try and see. Okay, let me publish some questions. Okay, let me publish and then the audience can see it as well, right? Is that correct? There is one that says, hello, can I check for work-study program? Is it open to all students, including international students, or just Singaporeans or PRs? Open to everyone. Okay, that answers the question. Simple answer to that. Can I still take up marketing specialization after exempting marketing? Let me understand that question. Does that mean that you are saying that you have been exempted from doing the marketing course? Is that what you mean? Let me look at that. Okay, I was going to, actually, Javen, I was going to say, oh, there seem to be no questions. Maybe we want to move on, but I suppose no. Okay, let me look. Is the work-study program compulsory? No, it's not. Anybody wants to jump in and help answer also, please do. What are the school clubs available? There are many school clubs. For example, there's our ABC club, our accountancy and business club. We have the business solutions. Actually, many more clubs. Later on, there will be students coming up to talk about student clubs. Is that correct, Javen?
Yes, that's right.
Yes. So maybe I will leave that for you to find out more for when your senior comes up to tell you all about the student clubs. Okay, someone asked about PA. For the PA program, is it going to be assigned to us or do we have to go interview and apply for ourselves? It is not assigned to you, but we have many employers who are our partners and who will offer places to our students. So our career service office will help you with that. They will publish all the openings available. They will help you prepare for interview if you go to them for help. Then you can apply for that and so on. Yeah. So again, later on, our career services office is coming on to talk about internships and so on, and hopefully you'll get a better idea. Sorry, did someone?
Yeah, yep. No, Kit-Wye. I
yes.
think there's a very important question that just came up. Hi.
Have you published that? You want to publish
no, not
that?
yet. Okay. Yeah. Are all lectures and seminars online from now to the end of phase 2? Well, we don't know when phase 2 will end, but definitely for teaching weeks 1 and 2, right? Your classes will be online, right? There's no doubt about that, right? We are waiting for an advice and guidance from MOE, from MOH, as well as the university, right, to figure out what to do from week 3 onwards. So for the moment, right, all classes online for teaching weeks 1 and 2. Okay.
Okay. Someone asked a question that kind of relates to the heightened alert as well, I think, because they're asking, why must metric card collection be pushed back to week 3 when we're just going there to collect the cards? Yes, it is true. So you may think that I'm just going there, one person to collect the card and one person hands it to me. That's just a 2-person interaction. But don't forget that we have 1,200 freshmen. So we will have 1,200 big crowd. So it's just better to push it back for everyone's safety. Okay, I hope that explains why we are pushing that back.
Yes, another question. As the spot for specialization is limited, what if we cannot secure our desired specialization? Well, that's why you have a backup plan, right? What is your second choice, right? So I think you are given up to 4 or 5 choices for specializations. So please choose wisely. Right. Okay.
And I think that the reassurance also is that at the end, historically, I think over 90% of our students do get what they choose for. Okay, so more likely than not, you are going to get what you choose for. But as Prof. Damien said, do have a backup plan, because it is not guaranteed, because it really depends on your whether or not you fulfill the criteria, and also whether or not there's space in that particular specialization, because of course there's a finite amount of space in each specialization. We cannot cram 1,000 people into one class, for example. Yeah. Someone
So here's
asked,
another one.
Yep.
Can I SU my core courses? No, you can't. Right? SU, the SU option is only for your BDE courses. Right? So core courses, please study for it, pass it. Right? If you do fail it, you'll have to repeat it. Right? So it's not the end of the world. Right?
Yes, and remember also what the point of SU is. I think Prof. Damien explained that just now. It's not for you to breeze through your core courses so that you end up graduating without the core capabilities that you must have, right? What kind of school would we be if we turn out people like that? But it is to encourage you to be brave, to explore things, to broaden your knowledge, to deepen certain areas that you are particularly interested in, and not fear for your CGPA, all right? But it's not for you to just say, I'll breeze through it, and then come out of university with a degree from NBS, and I can't even handle my core. Okay.
Here's another interesting one. Are we expected to wear long sleeves to class?
Can I say yes? Can I say yes? Can I say everyone must dress up like Prof. Damien to go to class? But actually, no. Look
no.
at Javin. Look at Javin.
Yeah.
That's how our students normally dress to class.
Yes. Right. But just be decent. Right? That's all I ask. Right? Just be decent. And don't come to class as if you just jumped out of bed and ran to class. Right? So
and also remember that our classrooms are aircon, so don't come to class skimpily clad and then say, oh, I'm so cold, Prof. Why is it so cold? I say, maybe you need to wear more clothes. Okay. Aside from that, not really. Okay, you don't have to dress up.
So when will I be able to apply for a minor? Well, you can apply for a minor at any time, actually, right? We are now allowing students, right, based on your interest, based on your capabilities and capacity, right, to even declare a minor, right, after you've taken like 2 or 3 subjects in that minor portfolio. Okay, so you can declare it in your 2nd year, you can declare it in your 3rd year, right? For ACBS students, you can declare it even in your 4th year. So we are kind of flexible about that at this point in time.
Okay, someone asked whether it is possible to switch to ACBS, which is our double degree program, accountancy and business, from accountancy or business. It is possible after your 1st year, looking your grades and so on, and you apply for it, but there's no guarantee, because there, of course, again, limited capacity, and it depends on your grades, because obviously doing a double degree program, whatever it is going to be more rigorous than doing a single degree program. So we want to make sure that the people who do a double degree program will be able to successfully complete it. We don't want you setting yourself up for a hard time. Okay, so technically, yes, but it is not just a question of, oh, I want to switch, I can switch. There will be requirements to fulfill. Okay, and we have to see whether or not there's space.
Related to the minor question,
yep.
Right? Can we drop a minor now that we have matriculated and add a new one later on? I think that is possible, right? That's a question I think the UPO team is better able to answer that question, but I do not see an issue. You can drop the minor that you matriculated with and pick up a different minor, right, later on. But we'll let our UPO colleagues confirm that. Right. Is there a minimum number of internships we have to take? Yes, 1, right? It's at the end of your 1st year. That's the professional attachment. And that is enough of a requirement, right, for you to graduate. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Someone else also, I think, asked about Star Wars stars. If I follow the planned curriculum, do I need to use stars to register for courses? Yes. I think you still need stars to register for courses. Am I correct?
Yeah. Having said that, Kit-Wye,
Yep.
right, here's some good news. By next year, May or July, right? By next July, right, stars will be no more. Right, will be replaced by another system, right? So hopefully, Jervin's batch cohort may be the last to experience Star Wars, right?
Okay.
But don't know. We are replacing. We are redoing the Star Wars system, right? So look out for it.
Okay. And someone also asked, bro, you should have asked during a CAT briefing. Okay, fine. It's okay. You can ask now. What's the difference between unrestricted electives and broadening and deepening electives? Does taking a minor affect the number of BDE I have? Damien, you want to?
Yeah. Okay. So in the old curriculum, the one that your seniors are going through, right? The unrestricted electives are now relabeled broadening and deepening electives, right? Your broadening and deepening electives are the ones that will be used for your minor, for your work study program. So the unrestricted electives previously and now broadening, deepening electives, right, offer you the flexibility to do anything that you want, right? To take up MOOCs, to do the work study program, right? And you have a lot more, right? Depending on which program you take, you have between 13 to 18 academic units of BDEs for you to, right, play with, essentially. Okay. So hope
Okay,
that
I
answers.
also see quite a number of internship questions. Leonard, I see you on my screen. Do you see the internship questions? Would you want to answer them now, or do you want to answer that after the career services segment later on?
Actually, we didn't specifically assign a Q&A because we expected
okay.
a lot of questions. I guess we could take some of them now if time permits. We still have time. Linda, if you're there too, and the team, we can always just jump in.
So someone is asking, can I wanted to bring this one up because I think it's an interesting question. Can I apply for internship in my own country, Malaysia, for the summer internship program in year one? So basically, you're actually the boss. Is that correct? You're owner and boss, and then you say, I also want to intern with myself. Okay, what is the answer to that, Linda?
The answer to that is, in view of the COVID situation, you probably cannot go back to Malaysia to do your internship, but you can do a remote internship, and on a case-by-case basis, we will assess if you can do an internship back in your home country. The reason is not because we're not flexible. The reason is because we want you to have an experience in Singapore, and at the same time, it's likely that you want to start your career in Singapore, of which you have the Singapore corporate experience.
Okay, I realized that I actually misread the question, and Linda is answering the correct question here. Okay, but in truth, actually, before COVID, we were encouraging our students to go all around. I mean, not just do local internships, but do internships abroad as well, overseas internships. And we were very enthusiastic about it and really trying to encourage our students. And, like some of our students, they went to Disneyland to do the internship. So exciting, right? But unfortunately now, because of COVID, that has kind of come to a screeching halt for the time being. But hopefully when this is all behind us, one fine day, this will resume, and hopefully it will be soon. Okay, someone also wanted to ask, what kind of companies have been partnered with NBS for work study program or professional attachment? So Linda, why don't you give them a few fancy names?
Well, I was going to do that later, but let me just give you some fancy names for our work study program. We have SAP, we have Adidas coming up, Shiseido for our marketing students. We have Prudential for actuarial science students, as well as we have the banks coming up for private banking. in risk analytics. So that would be DBS, Julius Baer. I think all these names are going to sound a bit fuzzy to you, but when you come into school, you'll be able to learn about them. So there are many, brand premier employers that are on our work study program. And for your 10th week internship, we work with more than 1,000 employers. And for the first year students, I'm going to give you some numbers and statistics later during our presentation for the Career Services Office.
Okay, and someone is also asking about when's the best time to apply if they want to do PA in year 1. I guess you're going to cover that, Linda, are you, later on?
Yes, that's right. I'm going to scare you a little afterwards. And the best time to apply, I will let you know when in our presentation later. So wait around for us. Thank you.
Okay, someone also
another
asked,
question.
Yep.
What is add drop? Well, add drop is the period of 2 weeks within the first 2 teaching weeks where you decide to drop a particular course, right, and to add other courses depending on your schedule, right? So add drop could be for courses, it could be for sections or classes within a particular course. So if you are scheduled, let's say, a Monday 8:30 a.m. course and you're not a morning person and want to maybe sit in an afternoon class, right? You can drop the morning class and register for the afternoon class if there are vacancies, right? So it is a very competitive process, right? You have about 2 weeks, right, to figure out which course or class, right, of a particular course you might want to take.
Okay, so someone also asked this, if I want to join an orientation program now, how do I do it? How do they do it, Javian? Reach out to Nick. Is Nick there? Someone is asking, if I want to join orientation now, how can I do so?
Okay. You can contact to UPO via email, and they'll give you the link or the procedures to sign up for the orientation programs.
Okay, so what's the UPO email address? Jessie, what's the UPO email address? Are we all here? Do I see Jessie here? Do you all know how to contact UPO? I assume you do, right? Okay. Yes, Jessie, tell them how to contact UPO if they want to join.
Hi. I will be sharing that email later on in my slides.
Okay,
it's
great.
UPO Enquiry at ntu.edu.
Okay, great. Yeah. Okay, someone also, there actually are many questions about clubs, which I think that many of the seniors later on will be talking about. So we have seniors coming up later on to talk about clubs. So I won't go into that right now. So for those who are interested in clubs, please do not miss that presentation and ask them all the questions. And someone just asked one question that I will just quickly address here. Is it compulsory to join club activities? No, it is not compulsory. However, I do strongly encourage it. Do something. Don't just stick your nose in your books and, you know, at the end of the entire time in university, you come out of university not knowing anything, not having done anything except for getting your degree. Okay, that will be a real shame. Okay, so it's not compulsory, but please do something.
Let me iterate a couple of questions about classes being online. Let me iterate again, ladies and gentlemen, that the first 2 teaching weeks, right, will be online for everybody, right? We are yet to decide whether teaching week 3 onwards, right, will continue to be online or to be in person on campus, right? So please wait for that email before making arrangements to come back, right, on campus. So first 2 weeks fully online. There is uncertainty for teaching week 3 onwards, right? So hope that kind of clears up at least the next 3 weeks of your lives.
Okay. Someone asked if a single minor program stretches across 3 years or just 1 semester. It's not just 1 semester. It is basically you will be certified as having completed a minor when you complete a certain preset number of courses, five courses,
Five courses.
normally from a basket of courses, yeah, for that minor. But it is not like you must do it all in one semester. It is the course during the course of your study with us. If at the end, by the time you graduate, you have managed to meet those requirements for a minor, then you'll be certified as having completed a minor. Someone is very gung-ho. Yep. Yes, Damien.
Typically, your broadening and deepening electives will start appearing in your planned curriculum, right? Closer to second year, second semester, third year, first semester, and second semester. So that's the time where you will have some capacity, right, to make use of your broadening and deepening electives, right? Not any time before that.
Yes, which actually leads nicely to the next question I was going to point out. Someone is very gung-ho and says, can we continue to add more AUs for SEM 1 after the year 1 students have already received their planned timetable for SEM 1? Wow, I'm happy to see such a enthusiastic student. But generally, don't do that because your curriculum for year 1 is planned, okay, for you, and it is not advisable, and I think generally don't do it, yeah, because it's going to be tight already. If you have this extra time to study, this extra capacity, why don't you ace all your courses instead? Use the extra capacity to ace all your courses. How about that? Okay.
So yeah, so generally, a freshman, right, keep your total AUs per semester, right, between 17 to 18 AUs. Right, and for ACBS students, it could go up to about 21, right? But I would not advise loading on more AUs than necessary, right? Adding courses beyond your planned curriculum, right? Because that's going to impact, right, your other activities, your hall activities, if there are club activities, CCAs, right, your learning, right, overall. So keep it, right, between 17, 18 AUs, and you should be all right, right, on track to graduate.
Okay, someone asked, what's the difference between a work-study degree program and a PA? PA is compulsory for all students, and it is minimum 10 weeks of internship, okay, at a go. Work-study degree program is not compulsory. You take it up if you want to take it up. It is a planned curriculum whereby you will study some of the time and then work some of the time, like one semester study, one semester work, and so on. And you do a total of 35 weeks of internship. Okay, but your PA can be counted towards satisfying these 35 weeks. Okay, I hope that clarifies that. Okay, let me do a time check. Okay, we still have about 10 minutes, yeah, to do Q&A. Someone again asked what is the point of the SU? Can SU option only be exercised for BDEs? Damien, I think maybe you need to reiterate.
So the point of the SU is to provide you with a safety net, right? So that you could explore courses that are outside of your comfort zone, right? Courses that would provide you with some form of education, right? Without penalizing your performance in those courses, right? Those courses that are in the BDEs are typically offered by schools other than NBS, right? In the science, in the humanities. So if you're interested in philosophy, go sit for a philosophy class, right? Just know that you'll be competing and discussing. Your performance will be judged according to everybody else in with the rest of the budding philosophers, right? But you as a business student have that safety net, right? Just in case if you are not up to their standard of argumentation, of thinking, right, you will not be penalized. You get a satisfactory grade, right, from performing from that, and it's not part of your CGPA, right? If you're interested in, let's say, linear algebra, right, and you don't have the necessary mathematical foundation, right, required, go sit for it, learn it, right? But your performance will not be judged at the level of a mathematics student, right? So the whole point of the BDE, or the whole point of the SU, is to provide the safety net, and it is applicable for courses in your BDE basket, right? So in that sense, I would encourage you, right, to go use the BDEs to get an education.
Okay, someone else asked about SU. Is it true that taking the SU option makes us ineligible for director list? What's a director list?
Dean's list, you mean?
Oh, Dean's list. No, right, Jessie?
No.
Director's list is poly.
No. Yes.
Oh, a Dean's list, yeah. So
Yes,
here
yes,
we
yes.
call it the Dean's list.
Okay. No, it does not make you ineligible. Okay. And someone is also asking about exemptions. They said that I saw the streaming criteria for banking and finance specialization includes a B+ for financial management. How will the streaming criteria work if the student has been exempted from this course? Jessie?
Normally, if you are going to go to that specialization, you will need to take that course. Otherwise, because when you have your course is exempted, there will be no grades attached to it.
Okay, so that would be similar for the other courses and as well, like for marketing. Someone asked, I think, similar question in relation to marketing.
Yes, that's correct.
Yep. So someone asked, can NBS students overload during certain semesters? If yes, how can we go about doing this? Okay, as Prof. Damien just now said, we recommend a certain workload for you because we don't want you to kill yourselves, okay? If you are here for 3 years, do take the 3 years, don't try to graduate in 2.5 and kill yourself in the process. But there are certain situations where, for example, a student may have gone on LOA, leave of absence, so took leave of absence from school for say 6 months to go do a fun internship, a very exciting internship abroad and so on. So because of that, they would actually end up taking 3.5 years if they went via the normal loading workload. But these students, they say, I can do it. I still want to graduate within 3 years, even though I took half a year off to do an internship somewhere else. Those are the kinds of typical situations where a student might then spread out the remainder of that load that he would otherwise have taken during the time he took absence. He might spread it out during the other semesters. And in that sense, during those other semesters, there will be some overload. Okay.
And there's a strict criteria, right, on who we allow to overload, right? You need to have a certain GPA to be able to overload, right? You need to be in your final semester, that sort of thing, right? So it is not a decision that's taken lightly, right? Because overloading impacts on your performance in the other courses, right? There is a high risk that by overloading, you depress your CGPA, and that impacts the class of honors, right, that you will attain at the end of the day, right? So think carefully on whether you really need to overload, or you can extend your candidature with just increasing the time you spend with us.
Okay, someone else also asked about the difference between ESP, Work Study Degree Program. What's PTPA? What's PTPA? I don't quite. Anybody
Could
knows?
be part-time professional attachment.
Oh, part-time PA. So part-time PA is still PA, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So PA is still PA. Yep.
Yeah, so for PTPA, these are the new. This is the new framework during the COVID period, where NBS is also managing the crisis of the employment market not being as hot. So you can take a part-time professional attachment if you can work 320 hours for the company. So there will be records of your time that you have spent with the company, and this is allowed, but this is also a transition period because of these 2 years of the COVID period. So this is how flexible Nanyang Business School is. While we give you a compulsory internship, we also have to think about how to deal with the different types of crises by adapting, to creating very good and meaningful professional attachments for you.
And the ESP refers to the experiential semester program, and this is where our students they go and do an internship for that semester, but instead of taking a leave of absence from the school, they are still considered with the school because they do this internship via the school, via the experiential semester program, and that internship taken under ESP will carry some AUs. Not like, for example, if you went on leave of absence and did some internship outside, that internship, while very good experience for you, would not actually carry academic units, but the ESP actually has some academic units. So you also use that to fulfill some of your AU requirement. Okay, but it's not compulsory. The PA is compulsory, but not ESP. It's just another option open for our students. Yes, Jessie.
Hi, I'd like to make a correction just now regarding the questions on exemptions. Yes, actually, you can. If you're exempted, you still can be streamed into that specialization. It's considered fulfilled.
Okay. Yeah, I hope that all of you heard that clarification, because earlier on we were saying that, oh, if you wanted to go for say Biochem and finance, you would need, and there's a requirement for a certain grade in financial management, then the question is, can I still try for the B&F specialization if I'm exempted? Then at first the answer was no, generally you would need to actually do the course, but then we realized that certain changes have been made and you can actually be streamed in the specializations even if you have been exempted from that particular requirement kind of prereq course. Okay. We have 1 more minute. Anybody has anything they want to answer from the list of questions here?
Okay. In which year do we start BDEs? Well, you start taking your BDEs, I think at the earliest year 2, semester 2, right? Depending on your curriculum, plus or minus a semester. But I think on average, the first BDE will pop up in your planned curriculum, year 2, semester 2.
Okay, someone asked, are EPA similar to paid internships or are they unpaid internships? No lah. Not slave labor lah. Okay.
You are definitely paid during your professional attachment, and we do recommend $1,000 per month, and that's a NTU recommendation. And most of our employers are happy to give you a little bit more. Employers, are you hearing it?
And if any employer tries to tell you it's unpaid, please let us know, okay? We will have a quick word with that employer. Okay, it's 11 a.m. I know that there are many questions here, and I'm afraid, sorry, we didn't manage to answer all these questions. But again, throughout the course of your orientation program, do feel free to approach your seniors or to send in emails to UPO or to approach any of us to ask us for clarification if you find that after all that your questions still have not been answered, because there are going to be many presentations for you today, and I think many of your questions will be answered by the presentations. Okay, Ken?